What's up, everyone? Alan Johnson with the AJ team. I hope you are having a wonderful day. Are you writing offers? Are you losing offers? I think a lot of the problems are rooted around two things. Number one, it's a super competitive market. And number two, there's a lack of honest communication up front because we as agents want to protect you and we don't want to scare you and we want you to feel really, really good about going into writing an offer. But there's also a reality around the actual writing an offer. And it's super competitive. And you don't know that it's super competitive until you lose 1, 2, 3, 4 offers and you've written an offer that's way above list price and you still didn't win. It just starts to get frustrating. So what we like to do is we like to give our buyers just some upfront tips so that you can start thinking about how you can creatively win offers. So number one, don't ask for closing costs, right? Do you really, really need closing costs? Realize that if you're in a competitive market, it's very rare that you see the winning offer asking for closing costs, all right? Number two, a letter to the seller. Sometimes pulling at the seller's heartstrings works, sometimes it doesn't. But painting the portrait, painting the picture of what type of buyer you are. If you have a family, are you from the area? Are you planning on keeping the property for a long time? What do you love about the property? Sometimes those emotional heartstrings tend to sway someone towards your offer, especially if all things are equal, all right? Number three, an escalation clause. So this is key. I wrote in this book, if you haven't gotten this book, make sure you go get this book. It's on Amazon. That there's no real estate school for real estate agents, all right? So no one's teaching agents how to maneuver around being a great agent for their clients. And the number one thing that I see with escalation clauses, people don't write smart escalation clauses. They'll escalate $1,000 or $500. And the problem is that's not a big enough gap. That's not a big enough gap for it to make a difference to a seller. You've really got to be at $2,500, $3,000, $5,000. Those are the differences where a seller will sway one way to an offer or the other way to an offer. If there's only a $500 difference or a $1,000 difference, then they're looking at all the other terms because $500 or $1,000 when you're talking about a $500,000 house is not enough to sway a seller one way or the other. So make sure that you write your escalation offer smart. Number four, agent relationships. We've probably had I would say about 4 or 5 offers this year that were accepted simply based off the fact that we've had great relationships with agents. They've been through deals with us. So we like to target agents that we've done deals with in the past. And that residue of success is one of those things that matter to agents. Number 5, fewer contingencies, fewer or no contingencies. So go through the contract with your agent and simply ask them what contingencies should we be thinking about removing. Doesn't mean that you need to remove it, but there may be a house that just checks all the boxes that you're willing to remove contingencies for. Number 6, waive a portion of the appraisal. So we had a house in Springfield where there were 8 offers and there was 1 offer that was willing to go over the appraised amount if the appraisal came in short, $10,000. That was the offer that we ended up accepting, and that $10,000 made a huge difference between the buyer and the seller staying in contract. All right, the last couple ones, allow your seller to choose the settlement date instead of you writing the settlement date in the contract. Allow them to choose it. And then this is an AJ team special, sweeten the deal for 24 hours. So oftentimes people put deadlines on contracts, and sometimes that rubs the sellers the wrong way. Instead of doing that, maybe you just sweeten the deal. So if you accept my offer within 24 hours, I'll pay an extra $5,000 or I'll do X, Y, Z. It doesn't put the seller in a position where they feel like their back is against the wall, but it gets their mindset and just thinking about, all right, this is a different option. So these are a couple of ways that we have used, a couple of creative ways that we've used to get offers accepted. If you guys have any questions about higher level real estate, please let us know. Alan Johnson with the AJ team. You have the dream, we have the address, and we'll see you soon.